uptown Charlotte. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Arizona Cardinals and the Carolina Panthers. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Rosen on 1st and 10. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And now a fumble. The ball's out, and the Panthers have recovered. After all of the turnover woes that they had last week, another turnover on the first drive of the game.
And when you dive into the analytics of football, it's real simple. If you're down in turnover margin, you're not going to win very many football games. The best teams always rank in the upper part of the league in terms of turnover margin.
And last week's number for them was 5 turnovers. And as you saw, another one there. The first carry for the former Nittany Lion. This is Saquon Barkley. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31, and then the defense rallying quickly after that broken tackle. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Now Jones, back to the air on 2nd down. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Throwing Jones. That's Samuel, caught left side. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. And his kick is good. And the Panthers stake claim to a 3-0 lead. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field as the season winds down and you look at them in totality. You know, the offense has struggled. The defense has been pretty good, so I would imagine the changes this offseason may be more on the offensive side of the ball.
And this is where we always hear.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Malik Hooker. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way. One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
They go play action here on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Now Jones. And his throw is incomplete. Curtis Samuel, the one he was looking for. And that takes us from second to third down. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
Yeah, really turned it loose, didn't he? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
To throw on third down, Jones. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
From the gun, Jones. Pass incomplete.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
It's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. He'll get it up the middle, and he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. They were held to a field goal on their first drive. They want 6 now, but it's third and goal. They come out here in the eye. Here's Henry. And he gets halfway there down to the 1 yard line. Only a yard there, so it brings up fourth and goal.
Now this feels like old school football because this has turned into a good old-fashioned goal line stand. So on offense, what do you do now? Do you decide to run it or throw it if you go for it on fourth down?
So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goal is probably not what they were hoping for.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
Rosen and the Cardinals take over with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look in the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
Flush to his right. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So he was past the line of scrimmage when he threw it.
And as they say, that's a no-no. Got to be able to understand where you are on the field and not cross the line before throwing the ball downfield.
Jones looking to throw on second down. Flushed out right. Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. Call it a gain of 3. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. A 3rd field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Jones. Off the play fake. Buying time to his left. He can run for it, and he will. A solid run of 11 there as he tucked it and ran, but he's still short of the marker at its 4th.
I like this effort there. He got it done on his own. But let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rounding, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the first down. And his kick is right there. It's good. And that will make our score 9-0. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So out now come the Cardinals. And last time, 1-play interceptions. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give him a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you got a little confidence in it, and let him fling another one.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
I'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, force the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
So the penalty certainly helps them out as they come up on 2nd and 5. Rosen will throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. He may try and run for this. And he coughed it up. And the Panthers have recovered.
I know that taking care of the football is something that's drummed into every guy who plays this position, no matter what, whether he's running it, in the pocket, out of the pocket. But it's almost surprising to me that there aren't more fumbles by that position because of the way that they get attacked on each and every play.
Now, we had the fumble last week. Now, here's 2 weeks in a row with a fumble loss.
Concentration has got to be there, and he's got to understand how much time he has to take care of a play, and maybe his clock is off just a little bit.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Jones now. Off play action. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Chambers. A strong broken tackle on that one. And then they get him to the ground just shy of the 15. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best. Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
They give it to him running left. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
On goal-to-goal runs, when you create lost yardage plays, the only way that happens is either called pressure or what I like to call straight-ahead pursuit. A great read, and they get to the backfield and make...
And he's got his man. It's Samuel. Touchdown, Carolina. As his guys are in for 6, and the Panthers are able to grow their lead. He's got it, and it's 17-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Touchdown, Cardinals! A great play there. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Cardinals are able to show off their quick strike ability. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. They're starting to put some space here. You know, first quarter, they didn't look so hot offensively. This second quarter, though, they've looked really good.
They've jumped in the saddle in a big way now, and now they're in full gallop. I mean, before, kind of cantering around a little bit, right, trying to feel their way, not getting done what they wanted to. But somehow they put it together with play calling, execution, and now there's a pretty big gap.
And they'll look to make that gap even bigger here. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. They'll run it now out of the gun. And some room to work. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Well, partner, I have to say they caught him in the right defense there. Nickel set, 5th defensive back on the field. And they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. And I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir, able to turn that into a positive gain. Now Jones to throw on 2nd down. And his throw here's incomplete.
Whenever I see a drop like that, I have to kind of take a step back and check myself a little bit. So used to seeing those big guys make big-time spectacular plays that when they drop one, I have to remind myself, we ask a lot out of these guys. Block and catch the football, not easily done in today's NFL.
The Panthers on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Back to throw. Jones. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So that last play gives them a little more space now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line.
Here we go now.
Right back to him on 1st down. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. The tackle was by the Boston College product, Harold Landry. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down.
Watch it now, Barney.
On 2nd down, Rosen. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And down he'll go at the 25. They'll give him 8 on the play, and all of a sudden here it's 3rd down.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Now Rosen looking at a 3rd and 2. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off around the 27. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
On 1st down, Jones. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So a jump there defensively.
It's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
And the penalty makes this a much more manageable 3rd down, 3rd and 2.
Detroit!
Looking to throw. Jones. Now he's flushed out left. Now Jones is hit. He lost the football. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
Here's out there. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
Give him 9 on the play, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That burst good for 20 and a 1st down. 2 minutes to play here in the 1st half. Back with more from Charlotte after this.
Watch it now, Barney!
They'll look to throw on 1st down with Josh Rosen. Throw left side complete. That's Barber. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Now let's go. Green.
Throwing now, Rosen on 1st down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. From the shotgun, it's Rosen. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when, and he told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
On 2nd down, here's Rosen. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off inside the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time. Sometimes you get just a little over-eager defensively when you've got people backed up because the mentality is to attack, take the ball away, or at worst, just keep them backed up there for your own offense. They actually use their aggressiveness against them on that one and hit them.
And this will be caught at the 30. And all the way down to the 26. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Now a play fake here on 1st down. They still can't get it. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Jones operating from the gun. Escape, and he's going to go down again. So we've reached halftime here. Let's throw in a broadcaster cliche, shall we? Both teams. An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. The Panthers out in front, and they will get the football first. Second half action underway. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you termed that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Gun! Here we go now.
Here's Jones. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. To Barkley on the check down. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives them a new set of downs.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Detroit! Detroit!
Jones now off the play fake, and that is incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
Gun! Detroit! Detroit!
Now Jones to throw on third down. And that one goes incomplete on the drop. That's one he definitely normally catches. Fourth down.
Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down in bounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter three.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. Eluding the pressure right. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. And we've got movement by one of the big boys up front for Arizona. Flag comes in. And a manageable third down becomes a lot less manageable. 3rd and 7 after the false start.
Detroit! Detroit!
Here's Rosen. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. And that one results in 35 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now Rosen on 1st down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Now Rosen to throw on 2nd down. Being chased out left. And my goodness, another interception. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Jones forced out to his left. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down. The Panthers on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities. 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 4. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he's got his target. That's more. A really nice gain of 25 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Back to throw. Jones. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And he takes it into the end zone for a Panthers touchdown. Saquon Barkley, his 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Panthers add on to their lead.
Watching that, Barney!
Jones from the gun, he'll throw. Dancing to his left. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Good positioning, and it's picked off.
Well, as most teams do in their two-point attempt, they pass the ball. Instead, it gets intercepted. And remember, if you pick it off, you get a chance to take it all the way back, get 2 points yourself, right?
Yeah, not the case here. That's why you got to be really careful with those throws, especially to the outside. And that should give his guys a spark. He's up all the way to the 44-yard line.
It's the third quarter, and they're down on the scoreboard. And while no one wants to hit the panic button just yet, points are a necessity on this drive. What a great way to get set up.
Rosen and the Cardinals take over with a 1st and 10 at their own 44. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now, that's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 7, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And a short gain down to about the 33. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They'll get this out to Barkley complete. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Inside the 5. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Detroit!
Here's Jones operating from the gun. And his throw here is going to be incomplete.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
Looking to throw. Jones. He's got it for a Panther touchdown. DJ Moore, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Panthers add on to their lead. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one taken from the 7. And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being. Rosen and the Cardinals take over with a 1st and 10 right at the 30. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Now a handoff working right. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
Now let's go. 3-19.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. Maybe a critical mistake at this juncture is now they've got a 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
From the gun, it's Rosen. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
Gone. Here we go now. 3-19.
And now it's Rosen looking. And that is incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Here we go. It's Rosen on 4th down. Steps away to his left. And it is incomplete. The Cardinals unable to convert there on 4th down. And the Panthers are going to get it back in excellent field position. And the Panthers coming out now. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Operating from the gun, Jones. Open man is Samuel, complete. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, Something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open. That makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now after the punt on that play, we've got a man down on the field. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. And he uncorks a beauty, best of the day. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. Now he goes spin. Oh, and now he bowls him over.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On 1st down, it's Rosen. Flushed out right. Now he's going to let it go deep right side. Oh, wide open, complete. That one goes for 36 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
Check. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now it's Rosen. This will be caught at about the 6. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Nice gain of 8 that time, but it's 2nd and goal.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
They'll give it to him up the middle, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. A big play to start the drive got him in this position, but this defense has held firm since, and now it's 3rd and goal. They come up in an offset eye. 3rd and goal, Rosen. The quick slant caught. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. In for the score. And the Cardinals cut into that lead. Now a toss going left. And he will dive into the end zone, and the 2-point conversion is successful. They get the conversion, and Charles, when you only have 2 yards to go, what do you think of the toss play? Because initially it kind of sets you back a little bit.
It does, especially if you get a lot of pressure coming towards you. But if you can get to the edge, if you seal the edge with your blocking, often your tackle or your tight end on what they call the play side where the ball goes, you can get to the corner, and that allows those big guys to get out ahead of the runner.
Carolina getting set to take the field. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession, and that was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
He's got a man on the crossing route. That's Moore. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. An ideal down and distance to try to finish this thing off. 2nd and inches. Jones now looking to throw on 2nd down. But he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's third down. Now, this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. On third down, Barkley. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Escaping the pressure right. He's got his man on the crossing route. A very solid gain of 27.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
He's going to fight, and he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. DJ Moore, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Panthers are able to grow their lead. Point after, up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Gone! Hurry up, here we go. 3:19.
Rosen on 1st and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
Green 39. Gone.
To throw is Rosen. And that's caught left side. Seals-Jones with it. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A good pick up there of 20 yards. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
All right, now, lucky 56.
Now Rosen. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Charles, not to point fingers, but how much of this goes on the shoulders of the offensive line? Well, look at the 6 sacks last week. That's the 4th in this game.
Definitely the bulk of it does go on the offensive line. That's what they're tasked with doing, keeping their quarterback upright and clean in the pocket. But I think they have to look at, okay, are we bringing in extra people? Is the ball out of the quarterback's hands quick enough? There are a few other factors that they have to look at.
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Now Rosen looking to throw. Buying time to his left. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one.